sometimes. So
Yeah.
I appreciate your patience and bearing with me.
Oh, of course.
Awesome. Okay, so how this kind of works, Dop, if you've seen clips of the podcast, Dop is going to have some questions for you for some sound bites, and then we'll
All
kind of
right.
dive into it and get to know you guys a little more. Is that all right?
Sweet. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks. We're just going to dive right in here
Yeah, I love
because
the
if
AI DOP. That's pretty sweet.
it's fun, it was a challenge that I can't. I decided to challenge myself. Can I do this? And now I'm over the rails on it, I suppose, a little bit, but
Oh yeah,
it's
you get
fun.
me on
So
AI. I don't know how to use that stuff. It's beyond me.
yeah, it's a rabbit hole I probably shouldn't have gone down.
Oh, it looks
So
good. It
thanks.
looks good.
All right, here's some questions from Doppler.
All right.
Let me. It's pretty low tech from this end. Let's see.
That's
There we
fine.
go.
Good day, everybody. Welcome into the Doppler Effect podcast on a very special Christmas Eve episode. Welcome, K9 Nash and John, all the way from Alabama. John, tell us, how are you doing tonight?
We're good, DOP. Thanks for having us. We appreciate you having me on the show, and Nash is somewhere around rolling around the house, but I'll get him over here once he comes back. But yeah, thanks for having us, and like I said, we're excited to talk today.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, man. It's really great. Dop's doing the same thing. He's wandering around the house, probably, looking for something that he shouldn't be chewing on.
Mischief. Yep.
Yeah. So with Nash, have you owned a GSP before, or was this kind of a first time with your
Yeah,
job?
he's the first time. So we've had small dogs, right? So like my wife and I have had Chihuahua and a Dachshund mix that essentially was a rescue dog,
Oh,
and she's
cool.
one of those. We're never owning a big dog, and then he came along just by through my job. We got selected to have him through my job, and it's kind of one of those. What are we going to do with this big dog things? And it's funny because most people think like you've got your labs and you've got your easy big dogs, and the pointer's just such a unique breed that
Yeah.
that unless you have one, it's really hard to understand. Hey, the energy and the attachment and all that. But it's been a blessing. So he's been awesome.
And you've had him for a couple years now, right?
2 years, yeah, 2 years.
2 years.
And I've definitely lost many hours of sleep.
I believe it. I believe it, especially with your guys' job. And Dop's got a question that leads into that a little
All
bit.
right.
So
Today, I'd like to introduce to you a GSP with literal superpowers. John, tell us a little bit about Nash and what his super abilities are.
So Nash is an explosive detection dog, so he's trained to find bombs and explosives, which is
that is
really,
so
really,
cool.
really, really cool stuff. He was trained. Well, he's from the Netherlands, so he came over here not trained. He was just from a really good bloodline over there.
Oh, wow.
Um, and kind of a fun fact with Nash is, so I didn't pay for him, but his value with his training and his bloodline is about $20,000.
Oh, I believe
Which
it. Wow.
pointers in general, I mean, you probably know too, like, the value on them is pretty high just because
It's
their abilities. And
correct.
so yeah, so I got trained. I got him at 2 years old. He got trained for 6 months in a program, and the program is just so crazy what these dogs can do, their ability. And it does take a special dog with a drive and a certain hunt ability.
Sure.
And really all you're doing is, rather than them hunting a bird or them hunting pheasant or quail, you're going to say, hey, you're going to go hunt the bomb.
And so was that line of training for him? I mean, that's pretty specific training. And I imagine, like any dog handler, that has received a trained dog, do you realize that there's that transition period and then there's that learning curve where you have to continue with that training,
Yes.
uh, no matter what. So
Hmm.
what's that been like for you?
So we have a federal mandate. It's technically through the ATF, that you have to maintain. I don't want to say a number because I'd be lying, but I know we have to do at least 12 training hours a month, um, just to maintain our certification. Now that's the bare minimum,
Okay.
which is essentially, an hour a day, because the way we work our shifts here are 30 minutes a day, and that's generally putting out a bomb hide, we call it, or something like that, and the dogs can find those. So yeah, we have to maintain a lot of training records just for them to show that, hey, they're certified and we're certified.
Because at the end of the day, this is not just serious, but life or death serious
Right. Right.
stuff.
Hmm.
So the time spent, I can't imagine. So when Nash went through training, how long was that training process for him?
So he goes for 6 to 8 weeks just on his own. And
Okay,
that's anywhere from obedience to, odor recognition to just general training, as far as socialization, environmental training to make sure he's not scared of different things, which he is still scared of things. Don't get me wrong. Every dog's got their ticks.
right.
Nash doesn't like, we have a band that plays in town, like a high
Okay,
school band. He does not like drums and violin. He doesn't like instruments. So
Interesting.
he's got a weird tick with that. Um, but so yeah, he's in training for 8 weeks total.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's tough for anybody to send their dog away for those type of training sessions.
It
I was
is.
just having that conversation with somebody else the other night that they're sending all three of their dogs away this fall or
Oh
this
Lord,
spring.
empty nesters.
Yeah, that would definitely be an adjustment for sure.
Yeah. So when
So.
is Dop sent out? Did you train him or do you train him
So
yourself?
I've done the training myself.
Nice.
I haven't. I've considered sending him out. I've got some buddies that are really great trainers out
Hmm.
across the country,
Yeah.
but they're the guys that I'm learning from. And then I
Nice.
I use one of the guys is named Jared Moss. He's with his company's Best Gun Dogs out of
Okay.
Utah,
Okay.
and he has a virtual training course, and so he set me up with that, and
Sweet.
all online, and you follow the system and
Just be
hit the
regiment and
pillars.
do it. Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's all about a regimen. The
Yes.
dogs crave that stimulation,
Right.
and once you get into it, I'm sure that you'd probably agree the dog training aspect it's and not just rewarding, but it's kind of addictive.
It is, and I think it's the progress you see, right? So like, when and I've noticed with him day, I should say day one to month six, there's a lot of frustration of like just trust being because the biggest thing is trust. If the dog doesn't trust you and they don't like you, I mean, a lot of people don't understand that. And we're really taught with a positive reinforcement. There's a lot of people that are negative reinforcement. Let me yell at the dog. Let me know the dog. The biggest thing we're taught is a positive reinforcement. So rather than like no bad, right? It's more of a we're not even going to say anything, but when you do something good, it's this big like, yay, here's this big, happy moment.
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of dog and it's the trainer we go to, he's just really big on that positive reinforcement stuff. Because a dog wants to be around someone that has a positive mindset and is happy and makes them feel good. It's just like people.
Sure, for sure, and that is something that I've talked about before with folks is that the when you're going into a training session, if you're bringing in a negative mindset, like you've had a bad day and you're yelling at the dog, like the dog doesn't understand that, but it's
Oh
going to
yeah.
pick up on those vibes. Like they feed off of us so much more than we realize.
Oh yeah,
And so,
big time, big time. And especially pointers are real sensitive dogs as is.
yeah, incredibly. Well, so when I came across your guys' profile, which was I'm very surprised I hadn't seen you guys pop up before because GSPs live on my FYP, like
Oh,
all of
same,
them, you know.
same. And it's funny,
So
I'm sorry to cut you off. My
no, go
wife,
ahead.
when you messaged me, she's like, wait, that's Dop. And I was like, I've never heard of Dop. And she's like, you've never seen that dog and that guy? I was like, no, I've never seen that dog and that guy. And she's like, oh my God, that's insane. You have to do it. So
Well,
it's funny. She had seen you, but I hadn't. And my whole page is GSPs and training.
I'm glad that I got the good referral from her because
Of course.
it's funny how that works out because it just sometimes the algorithms take a while to cross paths, but
Yeah.
the GSP corner of TikTok is such a cool little community
It
that
is.
I've kind of stumbled into really over the last year and a half, and they're just amazing people. So
Oh yeah.
they've been so good to me. So it's just like, well, let's have some fun. Let's get to know each
Absolutely.
other.
Yeah.
And
And
so
that's, it's my
it
first
helps.
podcast too.
Well, this is now my eighth podcast, so you're
Okay.
not too far behind me from
Nice.
a perspective of like I'm just winging this. But
Yeah.
it's fun.
It's
So
awesome, man. You're doing a good job with it. I follow along. I was watching the other videos to be like, how do I not mess this up?
oh no, there's no messing up. That's the thing. Like it's a lot of it's bits and fun, and this makes it more real for them because, like, especially with if when DOP is AI, it's pretty obvious. Like those are written scripted bits, like,
Yeah,
and they lose some authenticity. The goal is to make people laugh, right?
sure, sure.
But social media lives on authenticity in these type of conversations, and
Yes.
so that's a fun way to bring it together for us.
Yeah. I
So
mean, when you have a talking dog pop up asking questions and they're customized and then a real person starts talking back, it's pretty sweet.
yeah, it's fun. That's the challenging piece of it, for sure. Because
Yeah.
I'm not a tech whiz by any means, but
No. As you can
it's
tell, I couldn't
fun.
get my computer working. So that's I'm in the same boat.
Well, the strangest thing. So the other night, I filmed an episode with a group called the GSP family. Awesome people down out of Tecumseh, Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and as we're recording, like I go back to edit everything, and the only thing it recorded was their part of the conversation. So I could see them and they were responding to my questions, but you can't hear me at all. And so
Right.
it's, oh, what a nightmare. So
Mhm.
now I have fail safes built in. I'm actually recording with my phone behind us here. So in case that
Um,
happens, there's
so you got
nothing
two
minute.
methods.
Yeah, two
Nice.
methods
Nice.
going. So yeah, so we got a fail safe. So
I was gonna
okay,
say,
so
if
I'm
not, we'll just do it again.
right, right. So, but hopefully the first time is always the most authentic, right? You
That's
get the
it.
best reactions. So, okay, so I was looking through your profile. I saw you guys are spending time with the University of Alabama. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's one of those. There's I mean, if you're a college football guy or college
Oh, yep,
basketball guy, it's one of those really big hot spots. I mean, this stadium seats over 100,000, and there's always football, basketball, you name it, all the major sports. And it's like any major city. And you're out of Kentucky, is that right? Are you?
we're up in Iowa, actually.
Iowa, okay. I don't know why I
Yep,
thought
you're right.
Kentucky.
Oh, you're all
So I
right.
guess like Iowa doesn't have like a professional team, and neither do we. But any large scale event, you're obviously going to want to make sure it's the safest possibly can be for the
Of
public, and
course,
and so yeah, we could do a lot of cool things, and there's a lot of interesting people, whether they're celebrities or athletes or whatever that just come to campus for different things. And I think just where the country's at right now, you just can never be too safe. So we have actually 8 bomb dogs total that work.
okay, that
Um,
was going to be one of my next questions.
yeah,
Are you guys part of a K9, explosive team? I'm guessing
yes, yes. So
because
we
it
have
would be to cover that stadium. I saw you guys going in and out of the football stadium, or
yes.
up and down the bleachers, and I thought, well, for one dog, hell, that would take it. It could take an entire day for one
Mhm.
dog to clear that stadium.
Yes, and that's a really good lead up question. So we actually have our own team, right? And then we'll
Okay,
branch out to we have guys all over the state, from Huntsville, Alabama, down to Gulf Shores, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. So we'll bring in a lot of external help just because it is such a large task. You know what I mean? And then like I can't get too deep into operations plans and
sure,
stuff like that, but there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, which is really really interesting because whenever we go to say we go to Atlanta to go to a Falcons game, or we'll go to any other major stadium, I always look around and everyone shows up, they go to the game, have a couple beers, go home. But for like our game days, if a game starts at 3 p.m., we're there at 2 a.m. starting to like do
starting to
stuff.
clear.
Yeah, and it's just there's so much that goes into it. And we were blessed enough. We had a lot of cool people. I think Trump came last year, or he's came or twice actually,
Oh, no
since I've
kidding.
been there. So when you get to meet up with the Secret Service guys and the federal guys, just kind of
Oh, that's
seeing,
awesome.
yeah, you get to see their side of the training and then our side of the training and kind of how their dogs are trained and our dogs are trained. And there's a lot of similarities but differences. And it's really cool. Like you said, the connections you get to make are just meeting people from different places. Yeah. So
Different walks of life, but the thing, and that's kind of the deal with the Doppler effect. The whole idea behind this was is we all experience dogs differently, but we may not even agree on everything about our dogs, but we all
yeah.
the dog itself is what brings this community culture together.
Yes. Yep. And
So it's really fun to to kind of explore those differences in ways, you know.
Right,
Uh,
right.
so another thing I think I noticed from your guys' bodies, like we know that GSPs are traditionally hunt trained dogs, but and Nash is still hunting and still working, but like you said earlier, just on a kind of different scale.
Right. Yep. So that's really it. Is like you can train any dog. Like you could train Doppler to find a cell phone
Okay,
or find a bush light can. It's really the training that goes into it is just like, hey, they all want to find something, right? So I'm sure does
hmm
Doppler have a favorite toy or like
a handful of them, yeah.
yeah.
But
And if
go ahead.
you deprive him of a toy for a couple days, right? And you send him outside, he's going to want to find something. And if you have him on a leash or you have him next to you, if he's got good recall and you got him in like a field with some tall grass or something hidden, and he comes across this soda can, right? Or this, cell phone and he smells it, right? You make him sit. And then when he sits, you give him a toy. So it's associating, hey, if I find this cell phone, if I find this can, if I find this, I don't know, Snickers bar, right?
Sure.
I get my toy. And then you keep doing that and keep doing that. So then they associate, oh, if I find this, I get a toy and I get to play.
I'm, I'm getting that reward. Okay.
Yes, and that's
Very
really
cool.
how they operate is just very reward based, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like there's explosive detection dogs are the same way and they use their noses to find the odor and then they know once they find it, they get a toy.
Okay.
And he's trained, I mean these dogs are ooh, immaculate. I mean the cotton ball in a house, he'll find it. It's insane. I mean, but he'll search every nook and cranny and crack and crevice till he finds it. And what I didn't understand was like the dog scent, how a scent cone works.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's kind of like people, right? You've had a dog poop in the house, I'm sure.
Yep.
Your dog poops in the house. The
Unfortunately.
second you walk in that house, you're like, some dog pooped in this house, right?
Yeah.
And how I was explained it is like, the dogs are gonna know that there's so much more I say their noses are so much better, where like we might have to smell poop in that room that it's in, but the second that dog goes in that house, he's already got the smell and he's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go find it.
He knows.
Yeah. So they're just once you learn their noses and their abilities and just how to narrow it down to a certain area, it's crazy.
That it would be really fun to see. So I would guess, hopefully, you guys have never come across anything. I haven't seen anything on the news about bombs being found in Alabama as
That's
of
good.
late.
That's a good stat.
Yeah, yeah, you guys are doing your jobs well. Keeping bombs away as well. So,
Bombs away. Yeah,
so have you guys like what's something unique that he's come across that like I mean, because in your job, there's got to be moments that just raise the hair on the back of your neck.
yeah.
Is that
So
true?
yeah, there was a thing, and so, but it was before I became, a canine handler. Um, you in Maker's Mark whiskey? Do
Yeah,
you?
absolutely.
So there's that red plastic that's the seal
Oh
on the
yeah.
bottom. So there's all explosives are chemicals or some chemical compound, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the seal on Maker's Mark during COVID, they couldn't get the product that they needed for the seal. So they used a cheaper knockoff product, and the chemical that was in that red dye and that red seal was the same chemical in a set explosive, right?
Damn.
So before I was even there, this is just a story that gets told. They had a few of our canines when they're searching the stadium in a like a where liquor is kind of held, I guess you could say, like liquor closet. Um, they were all showing an alert and showing an alert and showing an alert. I'm like, that's really weird. So they ended up having to get the bottle out or get what they thought was the source out, and then there's other ways you test to see, hey, if there's a big room, they pulled a certain area, you got to kind of narrow down where it's at. But
Sure.
anyways, long story short, yeah, there is certain things that mimic other things. Like as far as smell goes for the dog, they're like, this smells really weird and kind of chemically. Um, So I'm not sure, like, if when we're searching around, if there's a closet with like bleach and cleaning supplies, he'll show like his little, like, he gets like weirdly tense, like he tenses up and gets very stiff, like if he's hunting a bird.
That's
And,
his
and that
tail.
that's kind of his tell, and then he'll sit down when he actually is like
Okay.
sure, like, nah, man, something's going on. But it's funny how like there's certain chemicals or certain smells that just set them off that they're like, this is kind of close.
Yeah. That would be so cool. So in a case like that, I mean, do they call that like a false positive reading type of deal or
False alert, yeah. So
false
false alert,
alert?
right? And there's been, I mean, we have them. I don't say we have them too often, but the dogs aren't perfect. They have bad days, just
Right,
like we
right.
do. But you'd rather a false alert, right, than just completely blow past it. And then if there's a false alert, there's usually a reason behind it. It's usually something that's very eerily similar, close to what they're trained on.
Okay.
So whether it's a battery that's leaking lithium ion, or it's like a wire that's kind of like burned or burning, or has like heated up the coating on the
Sure.
wire. Because there's wires are used for devices, and so there's a lot of different things that overlap that these dogs are very trained on to be like, yeah, this is a we're gonna want to look into this.
And so the communication level on you, like when Nash is going out, are you on a 4 foot lead with him most of the time? You're right
Yeah,
there with him.
yeah. So we're trained on a 4 foot. Some canine trainers train on a 6 foot or an 8 foot, and it really depends on preference.
Sure, sure. There's more than one
Sometimes.
way to skin a cat, right?
Right. If we're gonna search a large area, I prefer a 6 to 8 foot on a larger area because it gives him more. I like to have him ahead of
Autonomy,
me.
right?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we're in a tight spot like a house or a barn or something smaller, I like to have a little bit closer just because that's just a tight quarter.
Hmm.
But yeah, if it's an open area for sure, we usually like to do a 6 or 8, and it's just easier to tell the change of behavior in the dog too when they're ahead of you rather than next to you, the body
Yeah.
language and how his tail is and all that stuff. Because he's I know him well enough now where I can tell where he's like, hey man, something's going on.
So, couple years with Nash as the canine handler. How long were you on the force before that?
Let's see. I started in Massachusetts, 2 years up there, and then this will be 5 in July. So like
Wow.
4.5, yeah, about 4.5. So
Awesome.
all in all, about 7 places or 7 years for both places.
About 7 years.
Yeah.
Where did you always like from the get go think like, yeah, I'd like to be the canine handler,
Oh
or
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, when I was up north, my uncle, he was a cop, he retired. And must have been 10, maybe 10, 11 years old. And we went to the station just to go get something. And he was like, hey, you guys want to see the canines? To me and my cousin. We're like, I mean, sure, yeah, why not? So they had their canines there at the station, and he was like, "You want to see a cool thing the dog can do?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure, let's do that." And these were drug dogs, so he gave me and my cousin weed, and he's like, go hide some weed." Like, go. He came with us. He's like, "Go hide this somewhere. Like, go hide it." And we're like, "Hide it? Yeah." So we went into like a office and put it in a filing cabinet. And he was like, "Okay." So we hung around, and like 10 minutes later, he was like, "You guys want to make a bet?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, I'll bet you lunch that that dog finds that weed." And I was 10 years old. I was like, "There's no way the dog finds the weed. He didn't see me put it there. He wasn't
right.
even here." And he was like, "You better this. You can even pick the dog, like, because there's 6 dogs down there." And I was like, I was like, "All right, I'll pick that one in the end." And sure as crap, dog went around and found the weed. But it kind of just stuck with me, and it really like just kind of showed that I've seen the bond that they have with the handlers, and just the kind of companionship you get. And to me it was like, I really really want to do this, so it's been awesome to be able to kind of build my career up to the point where I can do it. And every day is just a new challenge, but it is awesome. I love it.
So that's great. Congratulations, man. It sounds like
Thank you.
you've really earned it. I had a kind of similar experience growing up with a canine dog to an extent where my dad is a veterinarian in
Okay.
Nebraska. and he was the veterinarian for the county sheriff, and so
Okay.
they had two German shepherds that were drug dogs, and I
Hmm.
remember being probably about the same age, first time meeting those dogs, and of course it didn't lead me down the path of law enforcement, but I just always remembered how cool it was to see such a well trained animal, like compared to even being the son of a veterinarian. We had a good dog, but he wasn't like a great, well trained dog. It's just
Right.
to see a dog with a job, with such purpose is what's so cool. That's a moment you don't forget for sure.
Yes, and that's the thing. I mean, it's one of those things. Like all dogs are so talented. You know what I mean? And there's the same dogs that for veterans that they literally show them where to go. I mean, they're they're blind veterans or they're deaf, and the dog will lead them to where they have to go. To me, that's mind blowing. I mean, there's dogs that can detect cancer. There's dogs that know when the owners are going to have a seizure. I mean, the abilities in dogs is just it's outrageous. You know what I mean? I swear they're smarter than people. Some people, most people.
I know a handful of people that my dog is smarter than for sure. So
I
I
won't
might
tell
be
them that.
one of them.
Oh, I definitely am one of them. I know a lot of people make a joke. They're like, "What would you do without him?" And I was like, "I don't know. I probably wouldn't remember to eat or drink or walk or." Um, but yeah, so he's been awesome, man. I'm so happy to be able to have him in my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so I take it he's like, I mean, you're full time with him. He goes to work with you in the morning, then comes home to the
Yeah.
family at night,
Let's
huh?
see here. I'll get him on over here. Nash, here. Come on.
I should I should try to do the same with Doppler actually. While you're getting him, I'm gonna holler at Dops.
Let me see if I can get Nash over here. Nash, over here. Say hey. Come here. Come
She's a good looking pup. 4 years
There he
old,
is.
huh?
4 years old. Go say hi. Who's this? Hey.
Hey, Nash.
Hey,
What's up,
who's this?
dude?
Nash, who's that? Say hi.
I love
Looking around.
the let's see if we can crawl into dad's skin
Oh,
bit.
oh, dude.
That's
Yeah.
that's
This
a never miss for
this is
sure.
an invite. He's like, oh, you called me. Oh, now we're back on the bigger and better things. Hey, who's this?
Hey, Nash.
There you
Gosh,
go.
he's just a good looking dude for sure. So
Face, man.
Dop isn't feeling so talkative today. I got him get him on his spot and he just lays straight down.
That is awesome. So he'll get there and just kind of lay down.
Yeah, he'll get there, just kind of lay down. I mean, for as far as a GSP goes, he has his moments. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but he's pretty mild mannered. I feel
Nice.
like to an extent I got lucky, because we'll do some hunting and we do a lot of walking around property here and stuff. But
Yeah.
other than that,
House
he's a
dog.
yeah, he's a house service dog to an ex. I mean, service dog in quotation marks,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a good animal. So
And that's the thing for him. He's kind of the same thing too. Like he was just on the couch when I was doing this, just laying on the couch. But like if I pick up a ball or I go tell him grab a leash, it's game on.
yeah,
Yeah.
game on. The switch happens pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, like he's back in the bed now, but if I stand up and head towards the door, it'll be nope.
Yeah, they're pretty damn alert. That's for sure. So,
Yes, just when you think they're
uh,
not paying attention.
right, exactly. Okay, I've got a couple random. Oh shit, let's see. How far did we get? These are kind of more soundbite questions. Do you have a little bit more time here, John?
Sure, sure. Yeah.
It's going to take me a second to make sure I'm caught up to the right point in my question here.
You're fine.
Okay, what's going on there? Okay, so we're through that one.
From Alabama, John, tell us. Today, I'd like to introduce to you superpowers. John, tell us a
Okay,
little bit about Nash and what his super abilities are.
all right. Here's our next question, I believe.
Okay, very important question. What is your favorite insult that someone might not realize is actually an insult?
Favorite insult that I gave someone?
It doesn't have to be that you gave. Maybe insult you just heard. Kind of like the old in the Southern adage, like "Oh, bless your heart, child," right? That type of deal where
I'm
everybody
trying to
kind of knows.
I'm trying to think. Oh, let's see. Oh, wow. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, someone. While we were walking around with Nash, and I had him on just a stroll down the street, and a lady came up. Well, I guess it wasn't really an insult, but to me, maybe it was. She was like, "Oh, I have a Dalmatian too," and I was like,
Oh
"Oh no, no, no! This isn't a Dalmatian." And,
no!
and she called Nash a Dalmatian, and nothing against Dalmatians; they're pretty dogs. But
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, come on, you don't got to insult us like that." Now he's a pointer.
those,
I mean, he's got a
those
big
are
brown
fighting
head.
words to the pointers.
I know. I was like, "Come on now," but I guess you could call that an insult to Nash.
Okay, yep, I'll take that one. Okay, so and these are the if you hadn't figured out the purpose of some of these questions is to put you on the spot a little bit, make you think. So, but
Oh, it's making me
no,
think.
another quick one here, and this one's a little bit more random if I remember right.
I saw his mouth going.
Let's just see what happens. This is a bit, this is a bit of a strange question. I understand that, but let's just see what happens. If you had to eat a crayon, which color crayon would you choose and why? Oh,
All right, I like that. So I'd go with the blue one.
Okay,
Because one to be, I feel like it would have a taste. I don't know. I feel like blue, if it's it's gonna have a taste. Maybe like blue raspberry or something like that. And then I think it'd be kind of cool to like not only eat a crayon, and now my teeth are stained and my tongue is stained, and I get to explain what the heck happened, and I get to tell people, if I'm gonna eat a crayon, I'm gonna be proud of it.
right, exactly.
I'm gonna just own that because I put myself in a spot to do it, so I ought to be proud of
Right.
it.
The real question is how did we get here to the point where, yep, I'm eating this crayon? Like,
Yeah, that's got to be a fantasy football bet, or you lost a bet
yeah,
with someone
yeah, you
because
lost a bet for sure.
I don't know
So,
many sound-minded people that wake up and eat crayons for breakfast. But it could be out there, and if they are, then like bless their heart. There you go.
more power to them.
That's it.
So,
That's it.
okay,
Not many
one
nutrients.
one last quick one from Dop here.
all right, and last but not least, John, what is the most rewarding thing to you about being a canine handler?
I think the most rewarding thing is just being able to better my dog and myself every day. I think the reward too comes from just seeing, how much you can progress as the years go on. It's also just kind of cool knowing that, we serve a purpose in the community and we're able to serve and be able to protect those people out there. And kind of waking up every day that like, we get to go out there and do some cool stuff. Sometimes we get to go put on demos for kids at schools, and they get to see what we
Nice.
do. That's really really rewarding to make an impact in the community with the younger generations because that's kind of what started me into the job. Um, so I would just say being able to kind of show him off and show what he can do, and just be proud of what he does is kind of the biggest reward.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to go along those lines, man. Like
Yeah,
such a cool job and such dedication it takes. Again,
yeah,
thank you for your service to the community. I
yeah.
know we
Thanks.
live in different communities, but like
Yeah.
even
Oh, there.
just sharing this type of information with people, I'm amazed how often people send me messages like, "Hey, we're thinking about getting a GSP," or "Hey,
Hmm.
like," or just random questions and how this information impacts the way people think going
Yeah.
forward about the breed. Am I going to get one? What am I doing? Type of deal. It's just all great. So
Right.
uh, I
And yeah,
really appreciate you taking the time today. We
yeah,
like to keep these. I kind of like to keep them, short and sweet, so that
yeah.
everybody has an opportunity to listen to as much of them as we can.
Perfect. Yeah, that's
Um,
all. Thanks for having me. And sorry for the little technical
Oh,
difficulties and
no
whatnot, but
worries
we
at
got
all. No worries at all. And so this is going to be airing on Wednesday night, this coming Wednesday. So Christmas
okay.
Eve coming up. What kind of plans you guys have going into the holiday? Anything exciting coming up?
We're going to Florida for the Cox. So my wife's family's from Florida area, Fort Lauderdale. So
Okay.
we'll go down there and spend Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then we'll come back we're going to spend the 23rd to the 26th down there. So Yeah,
Nice. That'll
yeah,
be fun. And does
yeah.
Nash go make the trip too? Then I take it.
He's gonna stay, so he gets either boarded or watched by my parents.
Sure.
He'll end up probably staying here. It's just that we're gonna fly, and flying him's a
Ah.
pain.
Yep. I
We
can imagine.
could drive, but that 12 hours just it gets me.
Understandable. Understandable. Well,
So Wednesday, you said, is it posted on the TikTok page?
so the full episode goes over on YouTube,
Okay,
and then teasers will go on TikTok page. But
sweet,
I typically try to release full episodes Wednesday nights at 5 p.m. And then
sweet.
the teaser will come at some point throughout the day, usually in the morning, but it kind of depends on how my
Because
day's
I'm sure you
going.
got to like edit and all that stuff, right?
Got it. Yeah, I'll go back through, watch it, and I'll mark the fun. I mean, it's all been fun, but mark some
Sure,
stuff for
sure.
some of the teaser clips, and
Yeah,
yeah, it'll be cool. But yeah, we'll put it out Wednesday night, and
sweet.
then yeah, if you want to share it or everything, love to have that happen.
Yeah.
And again, K9_Nash is where people need to follow you on TikTok. Is that correct?
Let me just double check. Yeah, that's a dang good question.
Uh, and then do you guys do Instagram or anything as well?
We do, yeah, K9_Nash with another underscore. So there's another underscore under Nash.
Okay, cool.
Um, and then let's see, Instagram is UA _K9 Nash.
UA_K9 Nash on Instagram and
Yes.
K9_Nash_ on TikTok.
Yes. That's it.
So that's awesome, man. I'm so glad I came across your profile. Thank you for
Yeah, man.
being willing to do this.
Oh, of course. No, thanks for having me. It's been a blessing.
At,
Thanks.
at some point, we're going to try to get a whole group of people together on a big live and just have kind of
Oh, dude, that'd be sweet. I'd love to do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And at some point, too, I'm still playing around with the idea of trying to host some regional GSP meetups. So if we end up down in the southern area, because Doppler is from Dahlonega, Georgia. I don't know
Okay.
if you're familiar with that area, but that's where I
Yeah.
got him.
Yeah. Nice.
And so we'll be making some trips down there. We have to do a meetup or something at some point.
Oh, that'd be
So
sweet. Yeah, that probably isn't more than a few hours away. Georgia, 4, maybe 5 hours, but that'd be perfect. Yeah,
hell yeah.
that'd be really, really cool. With the dogs meet up, we could kind of do something live on camera. That'd be really,
Oh
really
yeah,
sweet.
that'd be a blast. So I
Yeah,
mean, it's fun. It's fun to get together and do collabs and stuff with other people. I mean,
it is.
and everybody doing the podcast is that in that same mindset. We're putting content out all the time. It's like let's meet up. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say. If you're ever down in the area, by all means, if you just message me on TikTok or email, whatever the case may be, and that'd be perfect. Or text. I don't know if you need to do a text number, but
yeah, shoot me an email with your number in it.
yeah,
I'd be glad to exchange numbers. Let's do that. If nothing
sweet.
else, at some point we'll grab a beer or something.
Heck yeah, man. We'll leave the dogs away and grab one, or bring them too.
Hell yeah, why not? So,
All right.
well, hey, to you and yours, happy holidays. Be safe
Yes.
out there, and thanks again for the time, dude. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Have a good Christmas.
You as well. Thanks.
See ya. Take care.
Bye.